Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. So, Billboard recently released their top 50 MCs of all time list. And what I'm going to do is share my thoughts about this list, both the good and the bad. Um, first of all, they rank Jay-Z as number one. And while Jay-Z is a great MC, I do believe he's an elite MC. He's in the top tier of MCs. He's certainly not number one. There are plenty of MCs that are better than Jay-Z. Nas is a prime example of somebody that is arguably better than Jay-Z and somebody that's worthy of being recognized as a GOAT. Another one is Rakim. He's another stellar MC that could easily be ranked as one of the greatest of all times in terms of his classic albums and classic bars and all that kind of stuff. But don't get me wrong, Jay-Z is a great MC, but he's not number one. The other thing is this. They list Nicki Minaj in the top 10. She's ranked as number 10. And I just think that that's absurd on its face. And more likely than not, it's a function of politics. They probably said, well, we have to have a woman in the top 10. So they put her in there. And to me, she's buffoonish. I don't really take her seriously as a real MC. I mean, she has some bars. I'm not going to say she doesn't have skills. I'm not going to say that she doesn't know how to rap or anything like that. She is a good rapper, but she's certainly not number 10. And also, there are plenty of other women MCs that are actually better than Nicki Minaj, including like Lauryn Hill, of course. Lauryn Hill is arguably one of the greatest MCs ever. And I don't even think they ranked her in the top 20 of this list. And part of the reason behind that is because she hasn't done a project in a long time. But bar for bar, I think she is probably better than Nicki Minaj. Another person that's better than Nicki Minaj is Remy Ma. I mean, Remy Ma may not have the same number of hits and all that kind of stuff as a Nicki Minaj, but she's definitely just as talented or more talented than Nicki Minaj. And she showed that in her song Sheether, where she literally ripped Nicki Minaj to shreds. And also another thing that I want to go back to, with respect to Jay-Z is like, often people confuse marketing and promotions with actual skill sets. So they think that because you see somebody's face everywhere, because they're appearing on everybody's songs, because they're a quote unquote billionaire, that somehow that qualifies them as being the greatest of all times. This man is a man of influence, and I wouldn't be surprised if his influence is not one of the reasons why he's ranked as number one on this list, because objectively, there are plenty of arguments as to how he couldn't be, how he's not really number one. Many people will say that even an Eminem is better than Jay-Z. Some people will rank Eminem over Jay-Z. As Nas said on his song Ether, he said something to the effect that Eminem murdered you on your own shit. On that Renegade song that, they did together. Many people argued that Eminem's bars were better than Jay-Z. So, yeah, definitely shouldn't have been number one. And then, on this list, they rank Tupac over Biggie. And from what I understand, they rank Tupac number 5 or something to that effect. He's in the top 5. I'm not sure if it's number 5, but he is within the top 5. And Biggie is ranked below that. And here's what I have to say about that. Just in terms of just raw talent, in terms of lyrics, diversity and flows and all that kind of stuff, I would definitely have to give the edge to Biggie. I would have to say that Biggie is a better MC. He's a better lyricist. His flow is way better than Tupac's. It's way more versatile than Tupac's flow. Even though, I have great respect for Tupac, I do believe that he is in the top 10. He is one of the greatest MCs, in terms of his impact, in terms of like the wide range of messaging in his music and all that kind of stuff. He's definitely had a huge impact on the industry. Like before Tupac, people didn't wear all these tattoos. A lot of people bit his whole style and everything. So I understand why he is ranked high. He is an icon. But in terms of just lyrics, in terms of flows and all that kind of stuff, he is not messing with Biggie. If Biggie were to go bar for him in a battle, Biggie would easily have won a battle. And back to Nicki Minaj, like they got her ranked above KRS-One too, and Rakim. And to me, that's just straight up blasphemous, man. That is absurd. That they would have her ranked above, above a Rakim. It is absurd to me that they would have her ranked above somebody like Black Thought, one of the greatest lyricists in the game. Some people could argue that he's the GOAT. But, in terms of record sales, of course, he's not, competing with a Jay-Z or even a Nicki Minaj. But in terms of skill set, just raw talent, raw lyrics, he's definitely ranked above a Nicki Minaj. And, if I was putting this list together, he would certainly be way above somebody like Nicki Minaj. Another thing is, on this list, they actually rank Kanye West over Rakim. And to me, that's crazy. I mean, Kanye West is an excellent producer. I love Kanye West's music, despite, the controversy with him. He is a good lyricist and all that kind of stuff when he's, when he's on point. But the fact of the matter is, this man has writers. He has people writing his rhymes. And he acknowledges this. Someone that has somebody else writing this stuff can't be ranked in the top 20 in terms of MCs. Just off principle alone. Hip hop, unlike all these other genres, is about people actually using their skills to write their own lyrics and all that kind of stuff. It's unlike like somebody being a singer where they sing songs that are written for them and stuff like that, where, you can express your skills just through your voice alone. Part of the main thing that separates great MCs from all other MCs is their ability to actually write rhymes. And unfortunately, somebody like Kanye West has people writing for him. So it's hard for me to even consider somebody like that for the top 20. Definitely he's a legend when it comes to producing those beats. He definitely is an icon. But in terms of, in terms of being a pop artist, he could be ranked on that. But when it comes to this rap thing, he doesn't belong in the top 20 because he's not writing his own stuff. And, I'll talk about Drake and Wayne in a second, because they're popular. They're like some of the most popular artists out right now. And they've had a long run, especially Wayne. Wayne has had a very long run. And there was a time, a few years ago, I would have not even considered Lil Wayne for a list like this. But Lil Wayne is one of the most talented rap artists in the game. I mean, he belongs on that list despite the nature of his content or the controversy around some of the things that he says in his raps or, quote unquote negative messaging. In terms of skill set, in terms of flow, in terms of energy, he's one of the greatest to ever do it. And so many of today's generation are inspired by that man. So his influence and his impact cannot be denied. He's definitely worthy of the being in the top 20. But in terms of like top 10, it's arguable whether or not he should be in the top 10, but he is definitely a top tier MC worthy of being on that list. And Drake is a great MC. You know, I know a lot of purists will not like Drake and stuff like that. You know, they will hate on Drake and stuff like that. But the fact of the matter is he makes great music. And that's part of the thing that some of these great MCs are lacking of. Like, they make great lyrics, but they don't make great music. They don't make music that moves people, you know, on a large scale, or music that has, you know, the catchy melodies and stuff like that. And Drake has that, and he has lyrics. So he's definitely worthy to be in the top 20 of MCs. You know, one of the things that is questionable is that, you know, people have argued that he's relied on writers and stuff like that. And I don't know how true that is. He denies that from what I understand. So yeah, that's one thing that has to be mentioned. So I do think that him and Wayne are worthy. You can't even listen to, you know, the radio or anything without hearing their music. And their music is great. It's great music. It's, you know, enjoyable. It's music that is entertaining. And plus it's also, you know, well presented, and they have lyrics on the topics that they talk about. So, you know, I think that they're worthy to be on this list. But I think they made a gross error in terms of omitting people like Ghostface from Wu-Tang Clan and Jadakiss from the top 20. Jadakiss, you know, is a great MC, and he recently got like his recognition and his flowers and all that kind of stuff, you know, after Versus, when he destroyed Dipset and all that kind of stuff. People were, you know, showing him his love and showing him his respect because of that. But this man has been one of the greatest in the game, and he's certainly way better than a Nicki Minaj. There's no way in hell Nicki Minaj is number 10 over a Jadakiss, over a Rakim, over a, you know, KRS-One. You got to be out your mind. They got to be out their mind with this list. The other thing that I'll mention is Snoop. You know, Snoop Dogg, he's a great MC, but I don't think that he should be in the top 10, man. I mean, come on, man. That's stretching it. He's definitely a great MC, though. And lastly, you know, I think it was a messed up oversight on the part of Billboard not to include, you know, people like Black Thought in the top 20, not to include people like Mos Def in the top 20, and Common. And I know that they're in the top 50, but they're not in the top 20, and they should be. They are better than some of those people that they have listed in the top 20. So yeah, those are my thoughts. You know, I'm interested in hearing from my hip hop heads. What did y'all think about that list? Do you agree with me or disagree with me? Let's fight it out in the comments. So with that, peace and blessings. Have a great day, y'all.